intent. Okay, so implicit intent is like this, that let's suppose we have one screen. Let me draw here. We have one screen here. It has some component, maybe text, okay, and maybe button, okay. Let's suppose text and button, okay. And here we have another screen. So this time we don't want simply to to simply to change, but we want to send the text which is typed here. We want that text to send to the next screen, meaning to say this time we are sending information to this screen, and here will be a text view, okay, and that will display that text, okay. So information sending from one screen to another. I hope the idea is clear. So let's go and change. Let me close this one and create another project. Okay, so intent text sending. Okay, so Java, yes, should be correct. Now let's run loading. I already loaded. Now let me create here one activity. So here, this one I need to change. Okay, to change to a text, uh, edit text, meaning to say here I want to type something. So this is why it should not be a text view. So it's up to you. If you want to delete this text view, also can. Or if you want to change just the type, okay, if you just type here, edit text, okay, so it will change automatically to edit text like this, okay. So then make the constraints. Its text is the previous one. I think it, it should not be any text here. It should be just a hint. Let me delete the text one. I don't want that any text should be at the beginning. There should be just a hint for the user to type something. For example, what's in your mind? Just adding any simple thing. Okay, and then again the size of the text should be 30 SP, let's suppose. Should be okay. Now, I want a button that when I click the button, then the button, this text, that whatever is typed here, it should go to the next screen. Okay, let's do the constraints for the button first. And this one, okay. We can change the name, the text on this button, maybe like, let's suppose send text, something like this. Its ID is button, so okay, no problem. Now, in the second activity, we are uh, we are sending. Okay, let's create the second activity now. So, how to create a second activity? Add a second screen. Right click on the on this file. Click new. Then come to activity and then empty activity. So this one I should do second activity. Yes, it should create layout file, all those things, packaging, everything is okay. Yeah, create. Now this one should display the text. Okay, the second activity here, I will just simply drag the text like this. I will type a second activity. Second activity, its size should be 30 SP. If you want, you can change the color also. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back to our main first activity. And here the procedure will be the same. we will create uh, instance for this button, but this time we will need instance of the edit text also. Why? Because we want to get the text in this edit text, so we need instances of this both. Okay, so let's go to main activity.java. This time let's create the instances in here. uh, you will get a practice also, and maybe we will need to call these instances outside this function. Okay, so the first instance is edit text. Better to write private, and if you don't write private also, by default it is private. Okay, so edit text. You can give any name. I will just type edit text semicolon, and then private button, button semicolon. And here now we can link to the IDs. Okay, so edit text equal to find view by ID r dot id dot edit text. Let me confirm its ID is edit text. Yeah, its ID is edit text. Okay, semicolon. Now we need the text which is displayed in that in this edit text. So how to get a string? You can give any name, for example message equal to edit text dot get text, and then convert to string semicolon. So whatever is typed there, it will be stored in this object. Okay, now we need to create on click listener for the button. Okay, one thing I want to oh, here I didn't link the button yet. Okay, button equal to find view by ID r dot id dot button and semicolon. Okay, here there is a bit technical point that you see. It's find the ID, find the view. Okay, view, and whose ID is this one. So actually the view is a general class. It's like this. The view is a general class. It's a very super class of all the views. And from this view class, the text view, the edit text, okay, edit text, the button, all these views are the image view, and any user interface component is inherited from this view class. So better that we should cast, okay, cast convert the view that is returned by this function to the type that we want. This is edit text, but we should cast it with the word edit text. Then it is a very safe way. You will be on safe side. So how to do it? It can work even if you don't change also, but sometime in some complicated applications it may need conversion. So best way to convert, it is called casting. So use bracket and use the view that you want. So here we want edit text. So now whatever view is fine, and it returns the view and stores and links in this variable. Now it will be casted. Okay, and the same apply here. It should be button. Oh, I'll delete the other one. Find view by ID. Okay, now done. Okay, so this is the casting technique. It is quite good. You will be on safe side. Mostly this is done. This is needed when you create the instances in the at the class level. Okay, we got a message. We need the text in the edit text. Now let's create the on click listener. So button that set on click listener, new on click listener. Okay, here we will create an intent. Okay, but this time the intent is not that much simple like last time we did. This time we want, because we are not only using the intent to change the screen. We are not only changing the screen, but along the along with the changing of screen, we send some information also from one screen to the other screen. Okay, so what to do this? Let's create the intent first here. Intent equal to new intent. Okay, this time we are not putting the information yet. Okay, we are not putting the information yet, but we are trying to define that what type of intent is and what information it will carry. Okay, so let's define the action of this intent dot action, set action. Okay, so what type of action is it? It is send action. It is sending information. So intent that action define. Intent that action send. Okay. Intent get that action all capital. See, not this one. Intent that action underscore send. This one. Okay, so this will be such an intent whose action is sending information. And now what information will be there? Again, intent dot set, put extra. Okay, put extra. Okay, now what we are putting in extra? Intent dot extra text, x underscore text, this one, comma, and the text is what? Is the message that we got from the edit text. Okay, and after this, just start the activity. Okay, and now send the intent. Okay, okay, now if you see here, we are starting the activity, but we are not specifying the target. This is why it is implicit intent. The destination is not known yet. Okay, it is not known yet. So let's have it just uh, just to show you that when we run this, then the destination is not explicitly defined. Then you will see the options. Let's run. Okay, so here if I type welcome, okay, and if I click, oh my god, what happened? Should not be like this. Let me close. Some some text. Oh, there is some issue. Otherwise, it will pop up all the options. Okay, let me check what is the issue. This section also. Okay, let's check. Okay, let me close it. Okay, so the point was this one, that I forgot to define the type of the intent. Okay, and now this line specifies that this will be the explicit intent or implicit intent. This one is implicit intent because we are not specifying that uh, which activity should start, okay, and which activity should handle the text and how the text should go to, to the destination. Now, if you run this one, you will see the different options. For example, welcome. You can type anything just to show you. Say that you want to send through Bluetooth or Gmail or message or Google Drive. Okay, so many options. Why? Because the options are not known. Now, our target is that you see in this case, the target is not known, that we should send the text through Bluetooth or email or message or share through Google Drive. Now, if we want to specify that no, we want to send this information to the next activity, to the other screen, okay, then how to do and what to do. First of all, before starting this activity, we should use this one, we should check this activity. But I think before this, maybe this one will be you will understand better that if I explain the other part. So how to specify that this text should send to the other activity? If let's go to the project folder and open the manifest file. Okay, if you look at the manifest file, okay, so here you can see the second activity. You see here, the second activity is already added to the manifest file when we created it. Okay, now in this second activity, you see here is an intent. In the main activity already defined the intent filter, and its action is also defined, and its category is defined, that this activity is the launcher activity. So its category is launcher. Launcher means it's the home screen. Okay, so first of all, when the project load, it will load the main activity. Now we need to add this intent and the action and the category to the second one also, in such a way that it should become able to receive the text and to handle the text. Okay, to do that, let's add intent filter. Okay, intent filter, and then inside the intent filter, you can see that there will be the action. Okay, and in the action it will be Android that name, and the action name will be you see the send the previous in the intent, actually the action that we defined in the Java code, it was the sending action. So the same thing we will define here. Okay, Android, you will type Android, can we find here easily? Send, yeah, is this one. You see Android that intent that action that send. Okay, so this one will be the action. Now yeah, this one actually doesn't need closing one, but otherwise if you want to define, you can. Otherwise we can close this one here like this. Okay, and then define category. Okay, and category is Android name is, it's the category is default category, it's not a launcher one, it's default category. So let's find in this one the default one. You see this intent, Android that intent that category default. Okay, and then you close this category also. Okay, after that, now its type we should define. The type is data, that what type of data it will get is Android name, Android Android colon name, no, not name, Android colon min, meme type. Okay, is meme type, and meme type is what? It's a simple text slash plain text. Okay, and this close this one also. Now you see, once we define these information in the manifest file under the second activity, these things at the beginning is a bit difficult to remember, but once you practice, then it's easy, and it's almost the same information that we did in the previous Java. So previously, when we didn't define this information in the second activity, then here in the list, there was no second activity option. Okay. So in this case, now if we already define here, then we can get the second activity option here. Okay. Now let's just to show you, let's run now. Yeah, you see here. Okay, let me run once again. I saw the option there. So anything here. Now if you click send, now you see intent text sending, we can get the name is the name of the project that we have created. If you look here, you see intent text sending. This is the project name that we have created. So now we got that option also. Okay, so we will select that one, but how to deal with this, how to accept the text and what to do with that, we will do that portion in the Java coding. Okay, now in the second view, let's go to the second view that Java code. Okay, and here we will define the same things. But before going to that, I think here I should show you one thing, that this activity, starting activity, sometime it creates a problem. Okay, so it should, before this we should check that if the intent, we should use the if statement, that if the manifest file has the information about that. So if intent dot result activity, result activity, okay, and here this one is not equal to, here result activity and get package manager. Yeah, get package manager. So from the package manager it will read it, and if it is not equal to null, so meaning to say that some information is already sent. If it is not equal to, then this if it is not equal to null, then this activity should start. Okay, then it's a bit safe strategy. Not equal to null, sorry, then it should start. Now let's come to the second activity. Okay, in a second activity we will do the same information, that here we will create the intent and we will get the intent information, and then we will display the information. Okay, so here we will create again intent of instance of the intent variable, intent. Okay, so equal to get intent semicolon. Now we are accessing the text, so for that purpose we need a string variable, maybe type. Okay, string type equal to intent dot get type. What type of intent has been sent and what type of action has been specified for that action. Intent dot get action. Now if intent action send, intent dot action underscore send dot equals, oh sorry, smart, dot equals the type that we already get in the above line. If it is equal to the, sorry, this one is action. Action send is equal to the action, not to the type action. Okay, and type not equal to null, and type not equal to null, then we should access the data and we should display the data. Okay, in that case, if text plain, a plain text that equals the type. So the type is already mentioned. So if the plain text is exactly equal to that, then we should do we should extract the message. Now string message equal to intent that get string extra. And if you remember, in the main activity we have put extra, so the message is in the extra, so we will get that one here, intent that get string extra. That's right. Okay, and what was that? Intent that extra text. Yes. Semicolon. So in this way, from the intent, we extract the message which has been sent by the other activity. And now we can display here in this second activity in any way that you want. Maybe you can display on a text view, and maybe you can display just a simple like a toast. The toast one is a bit easier toast. So in the toast options, if you select the third option and press tab, you will get uh, the whole skeleton. Okay, so now here you can type, maybe you can, let's suppose that I, I, we got the message. You can type anything that you want. For example, I got the message, text, let's suppose, here this, and then concatenate with the message. Actually, that inside outside plus with the message that we have already extracted here. Okay, this one. Okay, so this will display as a toast message. Okay, now let's run once again. Yeah, so the message should be, let's suppose, welcome, and send. And let's select this one. Yeah, you see, we got the activity and we got the message. Let's go back. Click send the message. Let's this one. Maybe you can select just once, always. Okay, it's up to you. Just once. The second activity, and you see that the toast has been displayed. This implicit one is a bit complicated. Let me summarize once again. So quickly, we have main activity. Okay, in the main activity, we have a typing text, edit text, and a button. Okay, in the Java code, main activity.java code, we created its instances here, and then like normal, we link bind with the IDs, we get the text. Okay, and here in the click listener, we create an intent, we define its action, we put the message, whatever text we want to put here, we define its type, and then start the activity. You see, this activity cannot call the second screen until you put until you inform the manifest file. The manifest file is like a driver file of the whole project. So here this information we put in the second activity. And here we define, you see, all the three sections. The action, that its action is sending information. Category is default, so this is a default uh, application which will pop up when we run the project. Okay, not like this. That in the main activity, the default category is launcher, and its type, the data type is a plain text. Okay, so now once we define this information in the manifest file, under the second activity, now the second activity is capable of receiving information, but text information from the first activity. Okay, now to access and to get the information from the first activity and display it and process it in the second activity.java file, we will create the same information here, like create an intent. Okay, get the intent which has been sent it. Not the point here, we are not creating. Okay, here we are getting the intent from the package manager. Okay, and then we get its type and we get its action, and then we are checking that if it's the action is equal to action and the type is not null, and again if its type is equal to plain text, then read the extra text which has been sent, and then you can display that one in a text view anywhere you want, but simply we use in a toast here.